Hey guys, this is Light, and welcome to my account review. So, I am a day 1 player. I have 15 Legend RTA frames, and I placed a top 8 in the E7 World Cup recently. Unfortunately, I didn't go too far. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll go over the units that I built, and like the relevant ones, I guess. And first, I'll just sort everything by speed and show like my speed spread. So yeah, this is a day 1 account, and my fastest speed is a 319 ran. I don't even break 320. And then like, I have 3 units that are 300 speed, and like everything else is spread to like random stuff. But unfortunately, my speed gear only lets me gear like one okay-ishly fast unit. I did change my speed gear quite a bit, probably like 5 times a week. And I was never happy with anything because I was never that fast. And for like prelims, I did have a different setup though. Like I didn't have a Ran, but I did have like a 310 speed Ahmed. And I'll explain that later. So yeah. So I geared Ran because in like a best of 5 in like lunatic format, second pick is pretty disadvantaged and it's kind of forced to cleave. So like you'll often see people slam like Ran Rowana or like Payra Rowana 3-4 because that's pretty much all you can do as second pick. So yeah, I just had to Ran, and I didn't gear Blue Payra because this is my fastest gear and it's not suitable for Blue Payra. I do think she would have been much better though. But yeah, there's crit chance next, like whatever. It's like your typical top speed gear. And then see Lilius, very standard. See Lilius, her buff made her a really strong opener. She's basically Exodia. If you have her on 3 and the other person doesn't contest you, like Summer Hwayoung and Dark Aiden, make her like a huge menace. But unfortunately, her huge drawback is that she's slow. So like if you're fighting someone who's like as geared as you, they're gonna like cleave you with Ahmed and Lytica and call it a day. But she is very oppressive against people who are slower than her. And she's just on Sweet Miracle. Sweet Miracle is just like the best overall, like the best artifact overall on her, unless you want to be like super high effectiveness, like whatever. Very standard. Like Sea Lily, the Sea Lily's build has been like the same for like years, pretty much. Although it would be nice to be like 315 speed, but not on my account. And Payra, she's like one of the best like openers overall, because like she is the safest damage dealer that you can pick basically, which is unfortunate. Like it's really hard to pick damage dealers in the meta because like things are so counterable. But yeah, Payra, super important unit, strong opener, super strong DPS, the safest DPS by far. And like Uberius is her best in slot. There's like no reason to go Sweet Miracle on her because it doesn't do any damage and it's not that useful to just cleanse. So yeah, really good DPS. Unfortunately, I wish I could be faster. I wish I could have more attack, but yeah, it was workable. And Lua, she's probably like the second best opener for like slower players. I geared her to be more like geared her to be used like in a more general way and like with soul burns. But in the prelims, I geared her to be 280 speed and 250 effectiveness because I knew I was fighting like an ER cheeser. But I re-geared her to this for like normal games. Unfortunately, the one time I picked her, I got cleaved by Blue Payra. But so yeah, what can you do? Festive Ada, she's really strong, especially against the new ML Tenebria, and she's really good against stuff like Surface, like ML Poly 2. Like her only weakness is getting sealed, and like like whatever cleansers. and she's actually really annoying because like she's an anti-cleave unit, and like she has cleave potential as well because like she double strips into a defense break. She's basically Ran, and she also has a book, and so like she can be really threatening. Like units who can cleave and counter cleave are actually like, you know, really good. And I just built her high HP because her S2 bonus damage skills with HP, and also immunity is a must because the way immunity works with stealth is that if you have a shield, a double strip like MO Poly will strip the stealth. It'll strip the shield, but it won't strip the immunity, which means she doesn't get pushed back, so she can interrupt and like debuff and stuff, which is really nice. And I actually have 2 Adas because there was one game where I picked Ada right against like MO Poly, and then this guy's entire team outsped me and just killed my Ada. Like after stripping her stealth, which was very not cool at all. So I teched a second Ada for like super anti-cleave. Well, for example, if someone picks like Peyra plus MO Poly, my Warhorn will proc after Peyra and MO Poly take a turn, and then it will cut like whatever follow-up they have. So yeah, this was my tech in case that happened. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And I just have like some like random speed units like Blue Lua. I mean, like Blue Lua can be pretty good like later on in the draft. I thought she was really strong. I saw her win like, I think I saw her win like 1 or 2 games. I was like, okay, sure, let's just throw some speed gear on her. Like, why not, right? So like the thing about lunatic mode is that there's no diversity in like damage dealers, but there's diversity in openers and, you know, cleavy units. And like Lua has a lot of potential, especially with like cooldown resetters like Aram, like Veronica, and just geared just because. I have a DJB that's decently fast. I built so I had 2 DJB builds. I had one build that was like 240 speed and 350 ER, and I was planning to pick it against like the high effectiveness Luas, but people stopped playing like that, so my DJB ended up being useless. So I built this one instead, and like I would just pick this. The DJB is a pretty neutral pick. I just slapped this like early pick, and like. The nice thing about being this fast is that you can surprise people. I believe there was one game, the last game of my set against Kukerbat, he picked Knockball, and I knew for a fact that I'd be able to outspeed his Knockball with my DJV, and that kind of messed him up quite a bit. So yeah, high speed DJB just like randomly catches people off guard, which is pretty good, I guess. And I just have an Aram built, like, just because. And she's on Doctor's Bag, because usually... like, Aram doesn't have a cleanse, and her S2 can cleanse with Doctor's Bag, which is nice. And yeah, she's just pretty fast, because you want her to be really fast, so she can reset your openers, so they can, like, do, like, really annoying opener stuff. But yeah, fast is pretty good pressure on the other person. I just have like random speed gear on like Lidica, or the very rare case of like someone trying to like, you know, aggro me with greedy speed units. Didn't get to pick her though. And then Knockball, it's like the same thing. They're both 280 with like whatever stats and immunity. And the immunity is for the same reason as like Ada. Like it makes them resistant against double strippers, so that they won't be like affected against them, right? Like, it'll remove their stealth, but like keep their immunity, so they're like immune. to like whatever. So like these won't get stuffed by MO ball, etc. I had gear on TML, but unfortunately couldn't really use her at all. This unit is for bullying people who are slower than you, abusing soul burns. Her book is really good for units like MO Poly, like MO Poly pushback into a TML S3. That's really nice. She's a decent aggro book holder. Ellie goes, it's just whatever. Just another unit that you can use to like bully slow people, but again, very hard to pick unfortunately. And I have Blue Tenebria. She's still a really good debuffer, again, for bullying slow people. Like it's always good to have her as a late pick. Like her debuffs are very overwhelming against someone who doesn't have you know, cleansers. Sage Ball. It's like 280 speed with a lot of HP. It's actually a pretty decent unit. But he's pretty hard to use though. Like he's hard countered by Illinav. And like his damage is dependent on his sleeps. And like he gets screwed over by like the CR cutters like Euphine and Poly, which are really annoying. It's also screwed over by like the cooldown resets as well. But no, he was a decent unit against some aggros. Yeah, decent unit. So BK, I just put random stuff on her because like, you know, what if I needed like an evasion killing unit just in case? But otherwise very useless. Zio, he's pretty standard. You want to be at least 270 speed because especially in lower ranks, there will be people who try to like race your Zio with like openers and imprints. And you need to be like 270 speed to make sure you don't get outsped. Like 270 speed can like outspeed like 340 speed, I believe. And then like I'm just 275 to be safe. And like he doesn't really do damage, so like it's mostly about effectiveness, of course. No, ML Celine. She's a very aggressive damage dealer. She's really good with Ahmed, Litica, anything aggressive. Like the free soulbird makes her like a huge damage threat on turn 1. And like I just have her on Tori Artifact so that she doesn't get like one shot by a Luna S2 or whatever. Yeah, very standard gear. 270 full damage, nothing special. And then Pyreflan that I picked. I picked this Pyreflan with Zio one game in the prelims against Pagani, who was ER cheesing, and it just kind of killed him. And she only bridges 15%, so she has to be pretty fast, and then she gets 50 free effectiveness, so it's really easy to get 250 effectiveness. Like the attack is just whatever, because she'll do a lot of damage regardless. And my account can't really play MO Poly, and MO Poly is really weak against Lionheart unless you're super aggressive, so I didn't bother giving her good gear. Like I just built her really high ER to like potentially cheese someone later, but didn't happen. UC areas, whatever, and she's just a ran Pera bridge, nothing special. I don't know why I even have good gear on this unit. Like she's just like Strays, Gala, whatever. Well, speaking of Gala, I think I ungeared mine, but like units like Strays, Gala, these are just for bullying like slow players, and I never got to really use them. Amoshu, same thing, just for bullying slow players. Nothing special. Sweet Miracle is really nice. I have a like fast Milim geared in case like someone picks Celine randomly, but didn't happen, of course. No, I have a really fast Idols cheer Katie's to like chase people. The idea is that I pick I pick this with MO Pera, So like if they try to shoot a Katie's to stop her from cutting, the auto shear will push Pera, which is really good. Like especially against like Zia where Ellie goes, or like yeah, like the auto shear is just a funny artifact that like trips people up. Like she doesn't need ER or anything. Like she's just tanky and fast. Blooming Litica. I don't like this unit. I never picked it, but she's just a stun bot. Like her HP, her damage is insignificant. She's mostly just like a stun bot with high effectiveness. And Laya's whatever. I've had Laya on this build for like a year now. She's pretty whatever. But she's just a cleanser and she's not a very good one. Like cleansers are just kind of not too good in this meta right now. This Fire Crow, pretty standard, like fast, with like a decent amount of HP. He's okay at killing some evasion units if they don't have like mitigation. But pretty whatever. Like Holiday Euphine, she is kind of anti-cleave or like Ran Litica, whatever. Although, the unit kind of sucks though. Cause like she kind of gets murdered by stuff like Tori, Celine, and basically all the cleave anchors. So like picking this unit is like really detrimental, and she's like, she's really weak to all the anti-AOE units as well, like Dark Aiden and like Last Rider Crow. Like Holiday Euphine was just a pretty bad unit. I never ended up picking her. Jumped here and just randomly geared in case I need an evasion killer, like whatever. Like ammo, songs, whatever. Fire Poly, she's geared decently fast to pick against homage cleavers. It's probably like one of the only things you can pick against homage cleavers, which is okay. Like this will be fast enough to cut their DPS, and of course she's on crown because if an homage presses S2, you basically have 8 chances to stun their team. And 8 chances at a 30% is extremely likely. Like mediator, there's whatever. It's a very standard build that hasn't changed even with his EE. Decently fast to like attack buff and put pressure. His S2, he's actually a pretty decent unit. His S2 does so much damage. So like he doesn't feel like a dead weight pick like that much anymore. Like pretty nice. It's fast, tanky, high HP, whatever, some effectiveness. And I have him on spear because my Warhorn's on Ada. And, like this gives him a lot of damage. Like his S2 actually has decent attack scaling, and like this adds a lot of attack. But yeah, that's nice. Moon Bunny. I tried Moon Bunny as like a Sea Lilies counter. It doesn't work. It's really garbage. I think I tried Moon Bunny, and like the issue with Moon Bunny is that she procs after Hua-Young kicks your unit in the face, so you take like infinite damage and then you die. And my Gala is like ungeared, and I think I had her 270, like whatever. But again, Gala's a unit for like bullying slow players. I was not in that position. Like everyone in the tourney was faster than me, but that's whatever. In the end, she's whatever. She's just geared just in case. Like I need like some anti-pen or whatever. Never happened though. Ludwig, I just have like some random gear on him. I don't ever pick him. Solitaria, she's okay against Flan, although most people who pick Flan now, they kind of cleave you with her. Like Solitaria is not that useful besides like as a late pick, like force ban. So she's pretty whatever. I had a fast young Senya in case anyone wanted to play like Emo Lua into me. But Emo Lua kind of like fell off in popularity, like no one was really picking her. So yeah, nothing special. I geared like a random decently fast Rimuru just in case like I needed to like one-shot Celine in like some cheeky situation. Never happened, of course. And my Emo Luna, I geared her as tanky as possible at 240 speed. Because the thing about like being forced to pick Emo Luna is that a lot of the times when you're fighting someone like faster than you, you're kind of forced to pick Emo Luna so they don't kill you with it, and then if your Emo Luna survives their cleave or aggro, you just kind of win. I think I won a lot with this Emo Luna. So yeah, she's really nice, and Archdiva never picked her. Sharon never picked her either. Same thing with Tenebria. Like Tenebria and Luna, they're basically the same unit. You press your S3, or you pick them to deny them, and then if the other person can't aggro you down, you press your S3 and then you win. So you just build them really tanky and stuff, so they don't die. If you're a slow player, that is. Otherwise, you just build them super fast to murder people. And I geared a bunch of random stupid stuff. I geared like a bunch of different units thinking that like Lunatic would like bring any sort of unit diversity, but it doesn't bring diversity in damage dealers. It brings diversity in speed units. Like your damage dealer options will be the same. Your speed units will not really be the same. Like I had Lethe just in case to like, you know, kill like whatever, like Euphine or something. I don't know. Never picked her though. I geared this guy to pick with like Fire Ada and like some cheeky cleave. Never got to use him. I geared an AOL for like anti-cleave against Rand. Never had to pick her though. Dilly Bet, same thing, just anti-cleave against like Rand and whatever. Couldn't really pick her though. DDR, I gave him so he has 200 effectiveness with the effectiveness imprint, which should be just enough to tag most people's ML Aria basically. And he's like super tanky with Guardian Crystal. It's just a very standard DJV. Sorry, DDR. And I did have a second DDR for anti-aggro. I built one 250 ER with Soul Constellation to pick against like C Lilius and stuff. Cause like after they press their buttons, like DDR will CR push and then like sleep their team to like get rid of their tempo and whatnot. So yeah, second DDR, and I never got to use it though, unfortunately. And I have like a protection set of ROM in case I had to fight someone picking Farsetti. Also on Doctor's Bag, it's pretty standard, nothing crazy. And then LVR geared just in case. Landy geared just in case. Chaco geared just in case. Like Amoara. Like I just have a bunch of like random cleave bridges. Janua had a Wind Rider. He was geared also just in case, but never got to pick him, of course. I think Janua, I don't think Janua won a single game in E7 World Cup. I think he got dumpstered every single time he was picked. Like this unit's just outdated and he has too much counterplay. Like Fallen Cecilia, I think she's one of the better knights right now, so I have like tons of good gear on her, like double event craft. I do like her being faster because I think her utility with the strip is really good to set up like other units. And Schneel, I never picked him because like people don't really play DDR much anymore. Senya's whatever. I made her 220 speed to be slightly faster than my Tori, and I gave her 100 ER to hopefully resist haste. Pretty whatever unit. She doesn't really do anything unless you are being really aggressive. Abigail, like whatever, just had a random Abigail geared just in case. And Sage Vivian, she's just an aggro damage dealer. She's really good with Emerald Poly because she gives Emerald Poly a soul burn, but again, I couldn't really play like that. It's like she was pretty useless, unfortunately. And I just had random gear on him. I don't know. I don't think he's very useful at all. Tori, I had really good gear on her, but I ended up like never picking her because like I feel like usually if you pick Tori, you have to be ready to like be like aggressive against people. But I don't know. I felt like I was the one being aggroed on usually, so I wasn't too confident picking her. So I tried like pre-bidding her instead. And the one time I did pick her, she missed her cascade like 3 turns in a row, and I just yielded. Like what can you do? And then I had a really tanky immunity flan to like be resistant against like aggro players. Cause like my opponent in E7 World Cup, like I knew they like would pick Ellie Ghost, so I have like immunity to like buff stack against it. Then I built like a 370 ER Destina or 360 whatever, just in case like I would need to like cleanse something. Never had to though, never had to use it. I also had a very high ER Kitties just in case I had to like stat check someone trying to debuff me. Never had to use it. Well, like Litica, like these units are just ungeared. Well, my Celine has gear though. I put immunity on my Celine because like in the rare case where like I pick Celine and they have Emo Roana, the Emo Roana won't be able to reset my Celine because I have immunity and like a protection set shield, which is pretty nice. And had Bellion on 3F, super standard build, counter immunity. Like she has a decent amount of speed because taking turns on Billion is really good. Although she didn't really do much, unfortunately. And I geared a random Stenny to like pick with Lua in case like I needed a book desperately. Never used her, of course. I put my like decently fast protection set gear on Ross. Don't think I ever used him though, except like one game. Yeah, there aren't really like that many good protection set knights to pick, unfortunately. But yeah, he has decent gear just in case. And then my Emo Aria, pretty standard Destro with like crit damage neck, nothing special. And like she has a decent amount of speed because you don't want to be too slow on this unit because her taking turns is really important. And it's also really important to not get lapped. And then I had Ahmed geared for the prelims because I was fighting a Lifton and what's his face and Pagani, and I knew I was faster than both of them. So like I had like a 312 Ahmed geared, and I did kill Pagani with it, but in the main stage everyone was way faster, so I didn't even bother with this unit. And no, I did have again another unit that I geared randomly and then never really got to use because like and the diversity is in openers, not DPS. So he was here just in case. Fenny was here just in case. Unfortunately, I kind of got ran over even though I picked Fenny against Shu. Because like Fenny's weak to debuffers and like whatever, right? And a Tywin gear just in case. His gear quality is very bad though. I'm glad I didn't pick him ever. Whether it's like some random damage dealer's gear in to use it's really bad in case I ever had to. Well, he's okay. It's just geared in case I ever had to pick Zio. Ruels, whatever. It's just geared just in case I have to like defend against strays or whatever. Probably geared just in case. I had an arrow wall geared because I was hoping maybe like maybe someone would be like Svezable, but they weren't. And yeah, we're kind of getting towards the end. Ethan, pretty standard. And people ask me a lot, like what would build for Yuffie, and honestly, I like Destro on pretty much all of my damage dealers because I feel like a lot of games they're fast and they end up being like DPS races, and I feel like lifesteal just sucks. Like lifesteal, like you'll die before you're able to win the game. It's better. I personally feel like it's better to be high damage to make the most out of your like counterattacks and turns. That's just my opinion though. I think I just like damage on anything. And I did have this best geared. I really felt like this unit was decent. But never got to use them. Because like, you know, damage dealers are hard to pick. Hua Young, super standard. Just like crit damage, attack, speed boots, whatever, nothing special. Lionheart, I really thought Lionheart was a really good unit. But she was pretty hard to pick because people weren't really playing Sea Lily as much. And I don't know, they were defaulting to like really safe stuff that wouldn't proc her. But I think she's a really strong unit after the after her buff and her EE, of course. But yeah, really solid unit. But you have to let the other person play into you to pick her. I had a blue crow on holy stack just in case. Because like I feel like blue crow should have been really good because it's hard to pick damage dealers. So like I would need like my mitigation to also do damage is like my train of thought, but like I don't know, never got to pick him. Morty's just geared just in case. Ronan's whatever. There was a game against Kukurbat where like I completely ran out of DPS options. I just slammed Aiden and like she just killed him for me. Like that was pretty nice. And she's like highest possible gear score on like Destro Pen. She does a lot of damage. This speed is relevant because like if you pick her with C Lilius, then she's gonna get 40% CR after C Lilius's turn, on top of the 15% push, which is like 55. So like 150 speed is pretty nice for being able to get the turn. But also if you're on speed boot, you'll be way too fast. So yeah, I think this is like some super nice speed, and she has like my best like Destro gear. Pretty high quality. Not much left really. Rowana, triple. This is the Rowana that missed what 30 that missed like over half of her resets. Like yeah, it's very nice, very nice. But she's Roana's usually like a mix of hit sets and torrent sets because she only needs 2 stats. But yeah, 300 effectiveness pretty much, like whatever. I had an ER BBK geared just in case I would have to cheese someone. Of course the occasion never arose. My haste is very standard, 2k 30k with proof of valor. His S3 hits for like over 20k damage. He's really hard to kill. And yeah, decent unit. I had a Yoha gear just in case as like strays bait. And my Harcity has high damage on Fairy Tail because I feel like I prefer Harcity being like a consistent damage dealer rather than an RNG machine. So yeah, I really like the damage. It makes the injury better too. If I could, I would make her like Destro, but I don't have the gear for that. Pretty standard Hua Young. She's really slow with tons of damage, and I will only pick her with C Lilius on 3. Cause like Hwayang just kills everything. See, Lili's into Hwayang actually just kills everything. And then I had an Albedo just in case. Her gear is really bad though, because I feel like she wasn't that good, so I didn't want to give her really good gear. No, Miki, never picked her. Her stats are decent though, like 5.2, 140 ER. It's okay, it's decent stats. Of course, Renek's ungeared. Landy, unfortunately, never got to pick Landy. I do have my very old gear on her though, because like there's no one else to use this. I had a Giga Tank Kron for like anti-cleave stuff. Never got to use him though. Except one time, but he kind of just died. I have a Wukong for like anti-strays. And I think we're pretty much, SSVs, whatever, she's okay. I think she was a pretty bad unit though. I think she lost every time she was picked. She's pretty whatever. I just see Armin gear just in case. Met Ilinow's like HP boot, HP ring with crit chance neck. It's kind of like an identity crisis build. It's like she doesn't really need speed as an Aureus Knight, so she's like HP. But then like she doesn't need to be like 36k HP, so I just gave her a crit chance neck. But I wish I had 2 Ilinevs though, because I feel like Destro DPS is really good with Monarch, but unfortunately I only have 1 Ilinev. And with Ken, I was gonna pick this against like Emo Shu and stuff, but it was never possible to. He's really good against like Ellie Ghost and Veronica as well, but yeah, never a situation. And then I have a protection set Yuffie, and I prefer the Aureus one way more though. Sorry, I prefer the Opress one way more. So I feel like Opress, Opress like pressures the other person a lot, and Yuffie's a decent damage dealer. But Yuffie, like Opress Yuffie is way better with like light mages though, and like units that can like fend off more. But otherwise, like Aureus Yuffie is really solid. Like her passive is just broken. I think the last unit is Arunka. Super standard build. I think Arunka being a DPS is too valuable. It's either being like a DPS or being like super high ER, so that people can't just like control you to death. But yeah, that's about it. I also had a second Emo Ball that was in Grace with like 30k HP, but again, never got to use him. There was like never a reason to. But yeah, that is my account. Hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.